Hi everybody, it's Deb from Deb's RV Services, and this is an episode of Deb's Corner. So Deb's Corner is a day where I give you more personal information or tips and tricks or things like that. And today I wanted to show you my humble abode and give you a little bit of a tour. I want to show you how I live, what I live in, and I'm also going to explain to you how I use this for boondocking, because I'm actually at a site right now where I'm boondocking. So I want to show you some of the things that I do. So let's get started. So I tried to angle the camera so that you could see me and the area. I may B-roll over it if it doesn't look right when I do the editing. But anyway, this is my bed area. This is the front cab. I closed it off with a nice curtain here. That's a blackout curtain, but I wanted white. I had something else here prior. I just get sick of things and then I change them out. I love to redecorate and change things, so I'm always doing that. So anyway, I put this up here and it can make a nice backdrop for videos, but it can also help, it just makes the room look brighter and bigger, because I have such a small space. If I darken it too much, it gets overwhelming and looks really tiny. So what I did was, behind it, I put a blanket. I took one of those blankets and I tucked it into here. What this does is this helps keep out a lot of the heat that's coming in, or the cold, whichever it is. It helps keep the elements out. And I still have a Reflectix in my window, but this is another layer of protection. So I just keep that whole front cab separate. I store things up there. This is normally a bed, and I'm not going to show you that. It's just full of stuff. It's just, I use it for storage, and it's just got tons of stuff in there. I have some of my shelving systems that I've shown you, and I can easily access stuff, which I love. But this has been a great addition. I love having this here, and it just makes it feel more aesthetically pleasing to me. So I have my TV here if I want to watch TV at night. And then I'm going to explain this, but I'm going to angle the camera a little bit better so you can see. Okay, so this used to be a couch. And they were both couches. So if you've ever seen the Lazy Daze, and I'm going to zoom out here. So if you've ever seen the Lazy Daze before, it's really two couches, and they can be made into two twin-size beds. You can do one big king-size bed, or like what I did is I created a full-size bed here with a mattress on it, and I leave it as a permanent bed because I am by myself and don't want to worry about changing out this from a couch to a bed every day and going through that. It was easy for me to just do this. And then this area, I felt like it wasn't being used. And I kept racking my brain, trying to come up with ideas on what I should do. I was going to have somebody tear this couch out right down here and then build something, because there's already a platform right under there. But I thought, well, I don't want to, in case I sell this, I want to be able to bring it back to original for anybody that wants an original Lazy Daze. So this was the crazy idea I had. You see this right here? This is the back of the couch. So that normally stays down, and then there is a little hook thing right here, and it hooks into this area here, and then that serves as the backrest for the couch, for the back of the couch. What I simply did was I removed that cushion and I brought up that it looks like a little ledge, and I'm holding it up with these drawers that I have here, so it gives it more stability. Now, I'm not going to put a ton of weight on there. Izzy does like to get up in this spot here, so she really likes that, so I left that for her. And a lot of times I just put her bed right there, and then she can cuddle up in her bed, she can jump up there, and she can see me. But this has worked out for me. So I have in here, this is like, I have my office equipment in here. I have Izzy's clothes, and I have some of my appliances, because I actually love making my own lattes. And I also use an air fryer daily. So these daily items just stay right out here. And then I have my little incense burner, and it hooks right up to my Jackery. And then I can use this to run a small fan so that I can, move the air around here easily. So I really love that. And then, so it looks really nice and neat. Now, it doesn't always look this neat. I did this for you guys. I'll fully admit that. I leave like lights on for boondocking. I have these lights here. I have a light here. So this is kind of like a reading light if I want to, I think it's on this side. Yeah, you can bring it on and you can bring it up and down, you know, depending on the kind of light you want. I have another hook here because I just ordered another Lucy light because I love them. They can just make the place look really, I love lighting. I love how nice it looks. And so I have like these little things that have lights. I have them all over. So that's what I use. I also use a little light here if I need it. These are all things that I can use so that I can save on my battery. And I save on it by not running these main lights here in the evening. I'm running my TV watching Netflix or watching YouTube. So I don't want to use up any more lighting than I have to because I really have minimal battery here. So let me turn around and then we're going to talk about the other side. Okay, so we're going to talk about the other side now. And one of the other things I wanted to mention is about the system I have for boondocking. I have 400 watts of solar, in case you don't know. I have 2 AGM batteries. They're 6 volts, so it just equals a 12 volt battery. That's not a big system at all. I have a 2000 watt inverter, and I just want to share with you how I make it work. So I'm using, like I said, I'm using Lucy lights at night. I'm using my inverter all day long, and I have the solar bringing in all the energy, all the juice. And so I don't run those appliances that I showed you over there. If I'm going to run those, it's going to be midday when the sun is its brightest, and I'm not going to be doing that with the air fryer. 100% air fryers will suck out all your battery, and your system won't even be able to take it. Well, a system like mine. For that, I have to use the generator. So I have an onboard generator that allows me to use big appliance items. I can use my little espresso maker. I can use that during the day when the sun is bright, and it doesn't suck up a lot of juice because it's only really running for such a tiny amount of time that I can pull 2 shots of espresso, turn that off, and then the sun brings up the power again. When I have been in days or areas where the sun is not bright or I'm already low on power, I have a 1000 watt Jackery that I plug into, and I use that to make my espresso. So I also can use that for other items. Like right now, I am running my camera equipment that I'm using. I have lights on me, and I'm using that, and I have it hooked up to my 1000 watt Jackery. So I use that for a lot of things. I also have a fan that I use to help bring airflow in, and I'm using that to also, I'm using that for running the fan when I am really hot and I need some extra air brought in here. Okay, so I want to kind of talk about this area here. This is my little coffee station, and so this to me is the best way to make coffee because it's called a clever dripper, and you can make coffee however you want. When I'm boondocking, this is easy for me. I use this here, my regular kettle, and I put it onto my stove, and I'm using propane. Here, let me turn this around. So I'm using propane in my system so that I can cook. So I'm heating my water in one of these. I'm not using anything electrical. I'm not going to even attempt that. And why would I do that? Why would I use my battery power when I have gas and I can easily heat my water through here? Then all I need to do is I put a filter in here. I put my grounds and I pour over, and then I can let it steep as long as I want, and then I can set it on my cup, and then it releases the coffee. So when I'm boondocking, that's what I do. When I'm not boondocking, I use a regular plug-in kettle so I have 2 of them. The reason I use the 120 kettle when I'm on shore power is because it's quicker. I love those tea kettles. I have a cute little black one that I use that I plug in. It's just quicker. The propane one is not that big of a deal, but I do tend to use my plug-in when I'm in shore power. So this is my kitchen, and it's my setup. I just have my regular dishes in here, and I have my microwave, but I'm definitely not using that most of the time. I am not using that on shore power, when I'm boondocking especially. Even when I'm on shore power, I'm not using it. It is basically a storage area for me. I have a bunch of things in there that I store, and that's kind of what I do with it. To be honest, I don't use my oven that much, but I could use the oven if I wanted to, because I can run it off propane, but I use the air fryer a lot. Like I said, I turn on the generator, and I'm using that. It's just easier. What I do for dishes, a lot of times, I'm always trying to save on water. So I'm always looking here, and I can see that it says my batteries are good, and my LP gas is about 2/3, which is interesting. I just filled it. My fresh water is down to 1/3, so I'm okay with that because I have to take my RV into the shop tomorrow, and so I'm gonna get more water while I'm there. I don't like to drive with a lot of water because that's added weight. So I conserve water by getting bottled water, and then I put it through my Berkey. And I put my Berkey inside my shower because I don't really use my shower. I go to either bathrooms that are at a campground, or I am going into a public place to shower because that can really conserve on shower for me. I'm sorry, that can really conserve on water for me. Now this is my office, and this is kind of, now it's a really nice clean setup right now. I have everything put away, but typically this is where the magic happens. You always see this picture behind me when I'm talking, and it's kind of funny. When I try to make thumbnails, the hair in her head always shows up on the top, and I have to redo a picture, or I really am thinking about removing it. I know some of you have said it's cute, but I want to remove it and have this all white so that when I do videos, it's just a nice clear background. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I have my computer here and I just tuck it away, and I use this to work. And then I have my Jackery under here that I can use, and that works well for me. And I just set some stuff. There's like different things down there, but that's kind of how I have it set up. And then I have a T-Mobile right here, and this is what gives me my internet. Now I also have Starlink, but I tend to use T-Mobile whenever I can so that I'm not having to hook up my Starlink. When I hook up my Starlink and I'm boondocking, I have to rely on that Jackery. And right now I don't need to worry about it because I'm doing just fine. Now, I'm always watching my batteries. Look at the Band-Aid. This is because at night, this green light just goes and shines. So I put that over there. But in case you can't see that, I don't know if the numbers are even going to come out. This tells me how my battery's doing. And I always remind you guys, always check and see how your battery's doing. I have all this solar coming in, and it shows my battery's at 13.7. That's excellent. And it's getting tons of sun, getting great solar power coming in. So my batteries are nice and happy, and I'm happy. When I'm boondocking, I am running my refrigerator off of gas, and you have to remember to take it off of automatic because it will, if you have a system like mine where you have an inverter, the minute you have it on auto, it's going to draw from your inverter, and that is going to then wipe your battery out. Ask me how, I know. I've done everything. I've made all the mistakes. In fact, what did I miss? Oh, I have to tell you guys about a mistake I made on the way here. So I was driving, and when you hook up your tow car, you go through the series, at least my Honda CRV, and you have to take the car from park all the way down to first and then bring it up into neutral. And then you shut the car off and then you tow it. Well, guess what I forgot to do? Turn the car off. Can you believe it? I drove like 2 hours with my car running in neutral. I thought for sure I blew the transmission, or I don't know what happened. I need to talk to somebody that's in automotives to see if I ruined anything. The car still ran, it's perfectly fine, but I'm afraid I hurt it because that's not what you're supposed to do with those. They're supposed to be off and just rolling. Instead it was in neutral on. We make these mistakes. That's just how it goes. We are going to learn by our mistakes. So anyway, back to the boondocking and the tour. Saving on water is a big deal. You can use dish pans. Hold on one second. So another tip is to take a dish pan like this, use it in your sink, and that way you're not filling up your gray tank all the time. You can just wash your dishes in that and then take and dump that outside. Because my gray tank fills up so often, I would have to dump that constantly. I don't shower in here while I'm boondocking. Even when I'm in shore power, I'll just use the campgrounds because I just fill up that gray tank so much, so easily. So go shower in town, go to Planet Fitness, go to the campground, whatever you can do. Use your water in here and do your dishes like that. And that way you can avoid using all your water in your system. Use your propane sparingly as well, so you don't run out. But I don't mind going in and grabbing new propane if it's, you know, it's really not that often. It does last a while, so I'm not that worried about it. But those are some of my tips for Boondock. So one of the other things that I do to conserve power is I turn off my inverter at night. I turn it off so that it's not even making one phantom draw on my battery, and I don't have to worry about my batteries going too low. There are the only times that my battery goes really low is when the day is really cloudy and there's no sun. Then I go really, really low, and I'll have to turn on the generator or the engine to keep my batteries up, but you've always got to keep an eye on your batteries. Okay, so this is the back area, and it's my bathroom, it's my shower and my toilet. And I have a nice big closet here. And this whole door opens all the way and hooks to here. So it's one big back room, but I never need to do that because it's just me and Izzy, and I don't really need to hide from Izzy. Sometimes I want to. There's hooks right here for my hats and everything. And then I have a shower bag. And then I installed a fan there. There was a different kind of fan, and it was this tiny one of those, you know, you've seen them, they're tiny fans. Well, I took that out and put in a bigger fan so it can have better airflow, because on those days where you're warm but you can't run your air because you're boondocking, I can have this fan and the other fan, one going in, one going out. It creates really good flow. And then with these Lazy Daze windows, I mean, come on, look at these things. They're massive. And I can have all of them open, and it creates so much airflow. Anyway, my whiteboard, when you guys ask me questions, I literally write it on here. I have what causes fires in RVs, how to add water to lead acid batteries, and how to dump your tanks. Like, I'm adding these things on my whiteboard when you guys ask me, so that I remember to make videos on that, because I want to create these videos of like how to, or it's anything you have that you don't know how to do or you want to see demonstrated. I'm going to help you. I'm going to make those videos and help you. So I just had a new toilet installed. And toilets need to be installed when the seal goes bad with Dometics, because it's going to cost more money to get this, more money to replace the seal in some of these than it is just to get a new one. And my seal was so bad in my old one, it wouldn't hold water, and it was just all the hard water from Arizona, and it just made it, ugh. Anyway, I got the Dometic 320. I absolutely love this because it's higher. So as women age and men age, we have a harder time from sit to stand. And yes, you should keep doing the exercises. I'm fully aware of that. I'm a physical therapist. But these are awesome when you go to sit, because you just don't have to go to that lower point. You can just sit and you're right there, and then you can stand up. I have a night light that comes on automatically. It runs on batteries. And so when I come to the bathroom in the middle of the night, it pops on so that I'm not completely in the dark. So, and again, I already showed you guys, but that is where I keep my Berkey. I have my laundry down there, my dirty laundry. And then I keep bottles down there, because what I do is I fill bottles and then I pour water in there. And that way I'm not using my tank water. I go into town and get water, pour it in my Berkey. It's the best filtration system. And that's kind of how I do things. And my refrigerator, this thing has worked so nice. This is not the same color because I broke the latch. This is what happens when you fill a fridge too full. I forced it shut because I had it so full, and I did one of these, and I went, and then it snapped this right off. So don't do that. I had to order my part, and it cost me like $55 because it was from Canada, and it's from youngfarts.com, and they are guys that can get parts from old RVs, and you can just get them a miscellaneous part. But yep, that's what I had to do. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, the tour. This was a nice lighthearted video for you guys, and not, it wasn't the kind of video that I'm looking to create a hook and go through all these things and create a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or anything. I'm talking to the people that have been watching my channel that were curious of how I lived and what it looks like, and just kind of explained to you while I was doing it and how I boondock. So if you have any questions or any comments, or you want to know any other information, please leave me a comment below, and I will see you on Sunday's video.